Hi, good morning. How are you doing there, Shrinky? There's my handsome boy. There's my handsome boy. There's my handsome boy. Aw. How are you doing this morning? I hope you're doing all right. Another gloomy day. But it's fun seeing the snow on everything. Trying to keep a positive outlook, because if you don't, what's going to happen? You know, when I was younger, I was not aware of what I was thinking about. So every time in my brain, I would complain about the weather, about my clothes, about my car, about my job, whatever it was I was complaining about, or wishing I had, or wishing I didn't have. All that wishing and hope, wondering, it built anxiety. And I don't know, I think it attracts more of its kind. More negative thinking causes more negative thinking, right? Doesn't that just make sense? The neural pathways in the brain work that way. If you push the brain to behave in a certain way over and over and over again, it only makes sense that the brain would be set up to protect you and make your life easier by going on automatic pilot. So that's what it does. I have a hair sticking up. There we go. So I try to think of something positive. Also, I don't usually pay a lot of attention to makeup artists. I like Rose. She's a sweetheart. There's a couple others that I've enjoyed over the years, especially during COVID when I was lonely. But I gotta get something on my face. So anyway, I was watching another one, and I thought it was really interesting because she started off, it looks like, without a filter, and that she appreciated being her age. And I thought, oh, I'm going to watch this one. Yay. Well, by the time she was done, and I love that she only used like 5 products on her face. And then the filter came on at the end, and she looked like she was 25, 30 years old. And I was just, it made me start thinking about this. Did she look great? Yes. For the camera. I'm going to tell you something that's true. I put on makeup here, and I see my real self. Before I get on the video where I do my appointments, I see what I look like. And then when I'm on the camera, I see someone different. At one time, excuse me, I had considered using filters so my clients would be more confident that I was healthy and hip. But then I realized I was working awful hard, getting the makeup just right. to be someone I wasn't. And that's usually what I'm preaching, is how to find your center, how to be able to root yourself in a universal truth combined with your own personal truth. I'm sorry. Woo. And here I was with basically a mask on. And I can tell you that somehow I hit this awakening. Maybe it's when I hit my birthday last year. And I'm just hitting an 34 years sober. Yesterday, I had a sweet friend. Oh, I love her so much. She lives out in Portland, Oregon. She sent me a text yesterday wishing me a happy birthday. Oh, it just means the world to me. And with each birthday, I think I'm getting closer and closer to self-acceptance. You know, that place where it's like, wait a minute, if I'm going to enjoy what time I have here on earth, do I want to pretend I'm someone else? Or do I want to live in as much truth and clarity as possible? And for me, I don't go to the movies very often, but when I do, I'm there super focused on what's going on, so I can kind of hide from the real world enough. Like, ignore not hide, but ignore the real world, so I'm lost in this fantasy. But I don't want to be lost in a fantasy when I'm in the real world on purpose. And I live on purpose since I quit drinking, since I quit hiding. I hope that makes sense. So what was I was doing something with my phone the other day, and something went off on my camera. It ended up taking a picture, almost a perfect profile picture of me as I was dropping it. I think I was taking a picture of something outside my window. I've been doing that a lot lately. Where is my eyebrow? Oh, I don't know. Oh. And it showed, and this is after using castor oil every night for a couple years now. I used Retin-A for pretty much off and on all my life. And sometimes I'm very diligent about it. I haven't been the last few months because it dries out my skin so much that it's just not worth the trouble in my book. It's just too hard to stay on top of the dry skin. And no, my skin has never, ever, even when I've been diligent about using it for a couple years in a row, it's never gotten used to, even on the lowest percentage, even mixing it with cream. It's just too much trouble. Anyway, sidetrack. The picture that it took showed all the wrinkles in my face in the natural sunlight because I was at that window. And I thought, it doesn't matter what kind of filters are on my computer, which there aren't any. If there is one, it's naturally embedded in the video cam. And it doesn't matter how many products I use on my face. This is my face. This is my face. So, talk about a rude awakening. I hit this beautiful place where it was like, I don't really mind growing older. What I mind is fighting it so hard. That's what I mind. It's a lot of time and energy fighting it really hard that I just really don't like the time and energy that it takes to do that. So when I watched her video go from looking like someone my age without makeup and then looking like, well, basically a supermodel, as if just those 5 products made her look like that. And then the next thing you know, it looks like she had 10 products on, you know. And good for her. No problem with that. No judgment. I'm just thinking it triggered some thoughts in my head. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Thank God for makeup. Thank God for softening the sharp edges, giving me some color and dimension instead of Casper, the magic ghost. That was one of my nicknames in school. Casper. I had a couple other nicknames, but we won't go into that. I got bullied in school because I wasn't very pretty. And I gotta get some of those fallout off me. Not much. That's good. But yeah, there was a girl who used to bully me. Something terrible. She had a miserable life, I found out later. Poor thing. But I can tell you I was triggered and in trauma for decades because of the type of bullying she did. Poor thing. Look at that poor girl. All right, so here's a tip today. Excuse me. Get a good look at yourself. And let yourself know that you get to look like you. You get to be loved looking like you. You get to be cherished. And you get to honor yourself. And get to work. Bye for now.